In 2003, CBS launched a sitcom about a womanizing jingle writer, his neurotic brother, and one awkward kid. 12 seasons, 262 episodes, and one spectacular public meltdown later, 2.5 Men had become one of the most successful and controversial shows in television history. From Charlie Sheen's record-breaking salary to his even more spectacular firing, from Tiger Blood to Ashton Kutcher, and from Jake's awkward childhood to his bizarre disappearance. This is the entire series of 2.5 Men Explained. Season 1 introduces us to Charlie Harper, played by Charlie Sheen, a successful jingle writer living the bachelor dream in his Malibu beach house. His carefree lifestyle is interrupted when his chiropractor brother Alan, played by John Cryer, gets divorced from Judith and needs a place to stay. Along with Alan comes his socially awkward 10-year-old son Jake, played by Angus T. Jones. The season establishes the core dynamic that would drive the show for years. Charlie sleeps around and drinks too much. Alan overthinks everything and can't catch a break. And Jake says hilariously inappropriate things at exactly the wrong moment. We're also introduced to the supporting cast that would become essential to the show's success. Berta, the no-nonsense housekeeper played by Conchata Ferrell. Rose, Charlie's one-night stand turned stalker, played by Melanie Lynskey. And Evelyn, Charlie and Alan's manipulative real estate agent mother, played by Holland Taylor. What made Season 1 work so well was the perfect casting. Charlie Sheen was essentially playing himself, a wealthy, womanizing bachelor with substance abuse issues but an undeniable charm. John Cryer's neurotic, unlucky-in-love Alan was the perfect foil, and young Angus T. Jones had impeccable comedic timing for a child actor. Behind the scenes, creator Chuck Lorre had already had success with shows like Dharma and Greg, but 2.5 Men would become his biggest hit yet. The show immediately connected with audiences, averaging over 15 million viewers in its first season. Season 2 expanded on the foundation built in the first season. Charlie continues his womanizing ways but shows occasional glimpses of growth. Alan adjusts to single life and begins dating again, though with his typical bad luck. This season introduces Candy, played by April Bowlby, a dim-witted but attractive young woman who would eventually become Alan's second wife. We also get more development for the supporting characters, particularly Berta, whose sarcastic one-liners became a highlight of the show. Jake's character begins to evolve from cute kid to preteen, dealing with the realities of his parents' divorce and spending time between two households. Season 2 is when the show really found its rhythm. The writers knew exactly what worked. Charlie's debauchery, Alan's misfortune, and Jake's innocently inappropriate comments. The ratings reflected this, with viewership climbing to around 16.5 million viewers per episode. Behind the scenes, Charlie Sheen's personal life was starting to mirror his characters. His marriage to Denise Richards was beginning to show cracks, though the public drama was still a few years away. Season 3 shakes things up by having Alan briefly move out of Charlie's house after winning a small settlement from his divorce. He quickly burns through the money and ends up back at the beach house. This season introduces Mia, played by Emmanuelle Vaugier, a ballet teacher who becomes Charlie's serious girlfriend. She actually gets Charlie to change his ways, temporarily of course. Jake continues to grow up, becoming more interested in video games and food than anything else. His relationship with his father and uncle continues to be a highlight of the show. Season 3 is when we start to see the first real attempts at character development for Charlie. The question becomes, can a womanizer change his ways for the right woman? The answer, as viewers would see, was complicated. Behind the scenes, Charlie Sheen's marriage to Denise Richards was falling apart. Richards filed for divorce in March 2005, while Sheen was still filming Season 3. She alleged drug abuse, gambling, and threats of violence. Despite the personal drama, Sheen's performance didn't suffer. In fact, the show's ratings continued to climb, making it one of CBS's most valuable properties. Season 4 brings major developments for both brothers. Charlie proposes to Mia, leading to a wedding that ultimately doesn't happen when Charlie refuses to let Alan and Jake move out. Meanwhile, Alan marries the much younger Candy, only to have her divorce him after just 4 months, leaving him broke once again. Jake enters middle school and begins showing less interest in his studies and more interest in being lazy, a character trait that would continue throughout the series. Season 4 is when 2.5 Men became the crown jewel of CBS's Monday night lineup. The ratings were so strong that Charlie Sheen negotiated a massive salary increase, eventually becoming the highest-paid actor on television at nearly $2 million per episode. This was also when the show began to cement its reputation for raunchy humor. While never quite crossing into HBO territory, 2.5 Men pushed the boundaries of what was acceptable in network primetime comedy. Season 5 introduces a new love interest for Charlie in the form of his new neighbor, Teddy's daughter Courtney, played by Jenny McCarthy. What Charlie doesn't realize is that Courtney and her father are actually con artists looking to scam him. Alan starts dating his receptionist, Melissa, but their relationship is complicated by his cheapness and her mother's attraction to him. Jake enters high school and his character becomes increasingly defined by his laziness and strange comments. Season 5 was shortened to 19 episodes due to the 2007 to 2008 Writers Guild of America strike, which shut down production across Hollywood. Despite the shortened season, the show maintained its popularity. Behind the scenes, Charlie Sheen's personal problems were escalating. In December 2009, he was arrested in Aspen for assaulting his then-wife, Brooke Muller. This marked the beginning of a period of increasingly erratic behavior. Despite these personal issues, Sheen continued to perform, and the show's ratings remained strong. The disconnect between Sheen's on-screen charm and off-screen troubles was becoming more apparent, though. In Season 6, Charlie meets Chelsea, played by Jennifer Taylor, and for the first time, we see him in a mature, committed relationship. He even proposes to her, setting up another potential wedding. Alan briefly moves in with his girlfriend Melissa, but quickly returns to Charlie's after their relationship implodes. He then reconnects with his high school sweetheart, Lindsay. Jake continues his journey through high school, showing more interest in girls than in his studies. Season 6 represents another attempt to mature Charlie's character. His relationship with Chelsea shows genuine growth, and for a while, it seems like Charlie Harper might actually settle down. Off-screen, however, Charlie Sheen's life was becoming increasingly chaotic. His Christmas Day 2009 arrest for assaulting Brooke Muller revealed the extent of his personal problems. Despite this, CBS and Warner Brothers stood by their star, as the show was still a massive ratings hit. The contrast between Charlie Harper's on-screen path to maturity and Charlie Sheen's off-screen spiral created an uncomfortable irony that would only become more pronounced in the coming seasons. Season 7 sees Charlie's engagement to Chelsea fall apart after he confesses to cheating on her. This sends Charlie back to his old ways, though with a new sense of regret. Alan's relationship with Lindsay becomes more serious, though it's complicated by his continued financial problems and neuroses. Jake, now in his late teens, becomes more interested in girls and music than anything else, showing early signs of the character's eventual departure from the show's central focus. Season 7 maintained the show's popularity, but behind the scenes, things were deteriorating rapidly. Sheen's behavior was becoming increasingly erratic, with reports of cocaine use, missed rehearsals, and bizarre behavior on set. In February 2010, Sheen entered rehab, forcing the show to go on hiatus. This was the first time his personal problems directly impacted production, but it wouldn't be the last. Despite these issues, CBS renewed Sheen's contract for another 2 seasons at his record-breaking salary. The network was willing to tolerate his behavior as long as the ratings remained strong. Season 8 would prove to be Charlie Sheen's last. On screen, Charlie dates a woman named Michelle who happens to be Alan's ex-wife's sister, creating typical sitcom complications. Alan continues his relationship with Lindsay, though they break up and get back together multiple times throughout the season. Jake, now approaching graduation, shows little direction or ambition, setting up his eventual departure to the army. While Season 8 maintained the show's formula on screen, behind the scenes was a different story. In October 2010, Sheen was found intoxicated in a trashed hotel room at the Plaza Hotel in New York, leading to another stint in rehab and another production hiatus. The breaking point came in February 2011. After Sheen made derogatory comments about creator Chuck Lorre in a radio interview, calling him a clown and referring to him by his birth name, Chaim Levine, which many perceived as anti-Semitic, production was halted. What followed was unprecedented in television history. Sheen gave a series of increasingly bizarre interviews, claiming he had tiger blood and Adonis DNA, coining phrases like winning and going on a nationwide tour called My Violent Torpedo of Truth. CBS and Warner Brothers had finally had enough. On March 7, 2011, Charlie Sheen was officially fired from 2.5 Men. Season 9 faced the unprecedented challenge of continuing without its main star. The premiere opens with Charlie Harper's funeral, where we learn he supposedly died in Paris after being pushed in front of a subway train by his stalker, Rose. Enter Walden Schmidt, played by Ashton Kutcher, a heartbroken internet billionaire who attempts suicide in the ocean behind Charlie's house, only to be saved by Alan. Walden ends up buying the house, but lets Alan and Jake continue living there. The season focuses on establishing Walden's character. Childlike, naive about relationships despite his wealth, and recovering from his divorce from Bridget, played by Judy Greer. The transition to Ashton Kutcher was a massive gamble for CBS. Many predicted the show would fail without Sheen, but surprisingly, the premiere of Season 9 drew nearly 28 million viewers, the show's highest ratings ever. Kutcher was reportedly paid $700,000 per episode, significantly less than Sheen's salary, but still making him one of the highest-paid actors on television. While viewership eventually settled to lower numbers than the Sheen era, the show proved it could survive without its original star. The new dynamic between the immature billionaire Walden and the perpetually unlucky Alan provided fresh comedic opportunities. In Season 10, Walden creates a fake identity, Sam Wilson, to date women who aren't after his money. This leads to complications when he falls for Zoe, played by Sophie Winkleman, who doesn't know his true identity. Alan continues his on-again, off-again relationship with Lindsay, while also developing feelings for Walden's ex-wife, Bridget. The most significant development is Jake joining the Army after graduating high school, reflecting actor Angus T. Jones's reduced role in the series. Season 10 marked another behind-the-scenes controversy when Angus T. Jones, now 19, appeared in a religious testimonial video where he called the show filth and urged viewers to stop watching. "I'm on 2.5 Men, and I don't want to be on it. Please stop watching it. Please stop filling your head with filth." Unlike with Sheen, CBS and Warner Brothers didn't immediately fire Jones, but his role was significantly reduced. He would appear only occasionally in Season 10 and barely at all in Season 11. The show was now dealing with the unusual situation of having lost both its main star and the half-man from its title. Yet somehow, it continued to draw solid ratings and was renewed for an 11th season. Season 11 introduces a major new character, Jenny, played by Amber Tamblyn, who is revealed to be Charlie Harper's long-lost lesbian daughter. She moves into the beach house, effectively becoming the new half in 2.5 Men, as Jake makes only occasional appearances. Walden continues to search for meaningful relationships, while Alan impersonates Walden to date a celebrity, leading to predictable complications. The season also explores Walden's relationship with his mother, played by Mimi Rogers, adding depth to his character beyond the naive billionaire persona. Season 11 represented the show's attempt to reinvent itself once again. With Jake essentially written out and Charlie long gone, the addition of Jenny brought new energy and allowed for different types of jokes. Behind the scenes, Angus T. Jones had been downgraded from regular cast member to recurring, appearing in only a handful of episodes. He would later apologize for his comments about the show, but maintained that the content conflicted with his religious beliefs. Despite all these changes, the show maintained respectable ratings, though nowhere near its peak during the Sheen years. Still, it was renewed for a 12th and final season. The final season takes yet another unexpected turn when Walden has a health scare and decides he wants to adopt a child. After learning that single men have difficulty adopting, he proposes a sham marriage to Alan so they can adopt together. They adopt a boy named Lewis, creating a new 2.5 Men dynamic. The season focuses on their attempts at parenting while maintaining the pretense of being a gay couple. Jenny appears less frequently, and Jake returns briefly for the series finale, having traveled the world while in the army. The final season was announced in advance as the show's last, giving the writers a chance to wrap up storylines and plan a proper finale. And what a finale it was. The controversial series finale, titled "Of Course He's Dead," reveals that Charlie Harper is actually alive, having been kept prisoner by Rose all these years. He escapes and returns for revenge, sending threatening messages to Alan and Walden. In the final moments, a helicopter shot shows a Charlie look-alike, seen only from behind, approaching the house, only to have a piano dropped on him. The real Charlie Sheen was invited to appear but declined, so a body double was used instead. The show ends with creator Chuck Lorre appearing on screen to say Charlie's catchphrase "winning" before being crushed by a piano himself. And there you have it. All 12 seasons of 2.5 Men, from Charlie's womanizing to Walden's billions to that meta finale. The show survived cast changes, public meltdowns, and religious condemnations to become one of the longest-running sitcoms in television history. If you enjoyed this series explanation of 2.5, hit subscribe for more deep dives into your favorite shows. And let me know in the comments what show you want me to cover next.